Okay, so we're here with
Kieran.
Kieran. What's your thoughts on that game? How do you analyse it?
It's good. It's 3 points in it at the end of the day. Like, it's Burnley, weaker opposition, but we're on a roll at the minute. That's 5 clean sheets in a row. You can't complain. And 2-0, it's convincing. It's not like we scraped through, we battered them all game. But I'm very happy with 2-0. It's look, Penn from where I was sat looked a bit soft. I don't know if you
seen the ball a little bit.
Did it do look a little bit soft? He looked like he just won a fair tackle, but we scored last week off that Sheffield United tackle, which was more than fair. Yeah. The ball went in and we scored.
Swings and roundabouts.
It is, and we'll get some against for this season. But I think we're back. I was worried. Liverpool got beat, and I thought, is this where the wheels fall off a little bit? No, we haven't. We've bounced straight back. We beat City on Wednesday, which was unbelievable in there. San Siro, when I was there, it was bouncing. Yes, look, don't get us wrong. They totally deserve to win the game, AC Milan, but it's how you hold on. 0-0, unbelievable. But that's 5 clean sheets in a row, and we're back.
What do you put the clean sheets down? Because obviously we're not Botman. Is it Eddie Howe's management of the team? Because he obviously gets the best out of almost every single player he puts on the pitch, it seems.
I don't know who it is. I just think it's the club as a whole. You've got to say every single person has contributed to that. You know, it's. You look at the last 18 months. It's not just the last 5 games. It doesn't matter who you have in. We had Dummett and Lascelles in on Wednesday night. We had Lascelles in today. Don't get us wrong. Lascelles is an absolute hero of this club. He was there in the Championship and got us back up to where we are now. Lascelles has played a massive part, but it doesn't matter who I have at the back. If it's Botman, Shaw Lascelles, Dummett Lascelles, Botman, Dummett, we're keeping clean sheets. You can't just fully put it down to Eddie Howe. You've got to have that fire in your belly as a Newcastle United player to do it, and we are doing it. The fans, man, it's every press at the minute. It's just the place is roaring, man. It's meant, and
like you say, we're getting over the kind of tough games that we had. When we got the draw at the start of the season, we thought, it's a terrible run of games. We're now past that, and it seems like we're back to last season's form.
But you look at it, right? I seen a tweet the other day from some lad on LC, he's called. He's a good kid. He's all over Newcastle Twitter. He put on, right, the first 4 Premier League games were Villa, Brighton, City and Liverpool. Yes, we suffered 3 losses. Brighton was a blip. Liverpool, seriously unlucky. City, or just City, away.
Levels.
Villa were battered them, right? The 3 Champions League teams we got were Milan, Dortmund, Paris.
Then Man U and Man City.
And then you've got your Carabao Cup is Man U and Man City.
Can't literally pick any worse teams.
There's not a harder start that I've ever seen in Europe. Like, no other team's ever had that look at the draw. It's, if you get hit, it's how you bounce back. And we've answered against good teams that we need to answer to. Like, Liverpool has spent £1 billion in the last however many years. City, fuck knows how much they've spent. Right, we're not there yet. But it's fine. It's fine that we're not there yet. We've proved we can hold themselves. We didn't get beat 9-1, 10-1, and whatever. We got beat 2-1. We switched off for 10 minutes, and we got beat 1-0 at Manchester City away. The treble winners. They've won everything.
Does it concern you because we're picking up a lot of injuries? It was probably always going to happen because there's more games to play this season.
Yeah.
We've just beaten Man City, so it means there's extra more games as well. So we've seen. Harvey Barnes, massive injury because he's never really had a run of games for it yet.
No, he hasn't.
Then we've got Botman, don't know how long he's out for. By the time this comes out, we'll probably know Joe Allenton's picked up an injury. Does it worry you, all these games that we've got that we haven't got the big enough squad for it or not?
It does, right? Naturally it will, because we're not there depth-wise yet to kind of have that like City style of rotation.
We're not getting easy cup rounds or whatever, so we've got to go full strength.
We're not. But the thing is, right? We've done it before. We've coped with it before. We can cope with it again. And for starters, Botman's not long term. I don't think he was at the under-23s last night. He was cool. Is
he our best defender? Do you reckon? Obviously, Trippier and him.
No, I'll be honest. I was born 2002. I'm 21 year old. He's the best player. Best defender I've ever seen in a Newcastle United shirt, and that is a fact. And I think my dad's he's coming to 50 next year. I'd argue the toss that he's never seen a more composed centre half than Sven Botman. He's unbelievable. He's got everything. He's strong. He's tall. He's powerful. The way he wins the ball is you'd say he's been here nearly a year. But over here, sorry, the one mistake he's made was against Brentford and we still won the game. Yeah. That's how good he is. But what's showed today is that we can lose. So for the last two games, Man City in the Cup, don't get us wrong, weekend squad. No Botman. Today, no Botman. We've kept 2 clean sheets. We've beat the European champions and we've beat Burnley, which is always a tough game because they sit behind the ball, they're very aggressive, and we've done them. And that's without Botman.
Yeah, Burnley, I was speaking to some of the fans before, you don't realise how bad of a fixture run they've had as well. So they played Man U, they played Man City, they played Liverpool, I think, or Spurs or something.
We're with them.
Game as well.
We're with them.
Yeah, we are.
You know, you argue the toss now, it's like, you know, this wasn't just a one-season wonder, this wasn't a Leicester, this wasn't a, you know, when Everton, I think it was when Liverpool won the league, Everton came 5th, and then they just fell off the face of earth. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do what a Leeds done 3 years ago where they came 7th and they were close to, you know, this, that and t'other. We're here for the stain. We're here for the long time.
Yeah.
We've got all that. I don't even think it comes down to the money. I think you look at the progression we've kind of got. We've got a manager and an assistant. Bear in mind, Tyndall. Fucking shout out to him because he's like having a second manager. He's like having a second manager because he's mouthy, he's vocal. It's like having 2 managers on the sideline. They work so well. You know, nothing can go wrong.
Where does he rank in terms of overall Premier League managers at the minute? We asked the last guy this question.
The Premier League we come, where we get the Europe. This is what we sing. We're John Choice, and he is okay. I love it. I question again.
Where would you say Eddie Howe ranks in terms of overall managers at the minute in the Premier League? So obviously some big names, obviously Man City, Liverpool, the rest of them.
It's hard, isn't it? It's hard to say because every manager has a different circumstance. As far as I'd say, yeah, you could argue it's biased. I'd probably say third in the league. Yeah, I'd probably argue third. In the league. Pep first, yeah. And I'd probably say, and that's controversial, but Klopp second, because you look at what Klopp's took Liverpool from in the last 8 years. I think he's done a very, very, very good job. I don't like him. Don't get me wrong. As an individual, I think he's a fucking total knobhead. But as a manager, you've got to respect his craft. Yeah. Now, Eddie Howe after that, I don't think anybody else you can argue. Like, obviously, Pochettino, Postecoglou haven't been here with their respective teams long enough, and I don't think.
The manager does look good though.
He does look tidy. I think only time will tell. But you look at Eddie; he's done 18 months, and he's not put a foot wrong. The only other one you'd say kind of argues with Eddie is De Zerbi, but
I'd have Howe probably.
I really would. I think De Zerbi should be thankful for all the kind of scouting that he's had towards his team. Whereas I think Eddie chooses a lot of his transfers. De Zerbi has nothing to do with these Ecuadorians, Paraguayans, the Peruvians that he brings in. You know, who end up being absolute world beaters, which credit to Brighton Scouting Academy because they're unbelievable. But I think Eddie Howe does a lot more himself than De Zerbi does. So I would rank them third. Pep's been all around the world and won everything everywhere he's ever been. You can't argue he's not number one. He has had it easy. He has. He's had all the money he always has. But you've got to be there to do it, and he has. And he's stepped up every time he did. Klopp took a Liverpool side with 8th, 9th, and he made them the winners of everything. He actually made them the winners of everything before Pep Guardiola made Man City the winners of everything. So, but Eddie Howe number 3, yeah. And that and he'll stay on that pedestal until he wins something. Then he starts moving up the ranks, yeah. And I fully agree with that because I fucking love. It's nowadays good day. I'll probably in my 40s and I'll have kids and I'll see a statue of Eddie Howe over there and it'll be the best day of my life.
Okay, so we're here with
Harry,
how do you analyse that game?
I think we played really well, to be fair. Like, I think Almiron had a really good game. I think the midfield was lacking a little bit with obviously Joelinton coming on in the second half. The defence was a little bit shaky with obviously Lascelles coming in this game.
What do you think of Lascelles? Because he's a bit Marmite with a lot of the fans.
Wait, no, obviously with him being the captain last year, before Trippier come in, he done well today, but I think Trippier should have had the captain's armband. But he played well today, obviously, clean sheet for them.
If Botman is out for a little while, would you be confident in Lascelles? Because there's some big games coming up.
Even if it's not Lascelles, even if it's Dummett kept City's attack quiet for the week. But Lascelles is a proven centre half. He is a good centre half at the end of the day. On his day, he is a good player.
Man of the match today?
Almiron.
Almiron because of the goal or because of his overall?
No, but his overall appearance. He's a good runner. But
Well, now that Barnes is out, is he back to being a starter? Would you say? Who would you start now that Barnes is out for a while?
I'd have
Gordon's impressing. You've got
Gordon's gun the wing, but I'd have Murphy. He's a good runner, Murphy.
Yeah.
Miggy is end product's mint, but Murphy, I think his is just a little bit better at the end of the day, especially with the scene at Tottenham last season, smashing that from 30-40 yards out.
What do you reckon for Champions League? We've obviously got a massive game coming up. What do you reckon? How far are we going with that?
We've done well against Milan away, but you've got PSG coming here, and Mbappe says he's injured, and Mbappe might be injured at the minute. But if he ends up coming on and playing here, it's a hard game with him going up against running down the right, running down the middle, running down the left. Him against Dan Burn. It's a hard game.
Is that the toughest game we've got in the Champions League group? PSG?
No, Dortmund away, the yellow wall. I think that's a really, really hard game away.
Yellow wall versus four flags. Come on.
I don't know. I think.
Jump in if you want, but
I think the yellow wall's a really hard game away.
Dortmund, I
think Dortmund.
What's your score predictions for the Dortmund game and the PSG ones?
I think
PSG, I think will make.
I think it's 1-2-0 PSG at home.
Yeah.
Away, I think we might nick a result. But I hope at home, obviously against PSG, we might nick a result.
The atmosphere's there, isn't it?
That's what it is. It's the atmosphere. We've got the 12th man at home.
If not 13. 13th man.
But
you've got the ground, and then you've got Shearers.
Exactly.
What did you think about the underbelly, the squad? Because we've had Lascelles has played a few games now. Dummett, a lot of fans had them wrote off. Have you been impressed with them or not?
I look at Lascelles and the likes of Dummett, and Eddie Howe's taken his arm, he's put it around like he did with Joe Linton. Joe Linton was a, don't mind my language, he was an absolute flop. 40 million was a waste of money. But now you look at him and you think, 60, 70
Eddie Howe's revolutionised some players for the likes of Jacob Murphy. Jacob Murphy, he was an outcast in the team. He never used to be like a regular player, but now look at him for the likes of when he's coming on against obviously Tottenham last season. And now you've got Dummett playing against Man City. But look at Paul Dummett against Man City. He'd never even.
Where does Howe rank, in your opinion, honest opinion, in terms of Premier League managers?
It's like, for me, it's kind of gone. Pep, Eddie Howe, Klopp.
What for you?
That's my eyes, because
Pep, first manager. Then you've got Tottenham's manager. What's his name again?
Pochettino.
I can't say his name. Pochettino. Then you've got, I think, Klopp. With the form that the team's in right now, you can't take it away from him that he's an absolute world-class manager. I think that he's third. Then you've got De Zerbi, Brighton's manager. And then I think it goes Eddie Howe.
So where's that fourth, fifth?
Fourth. I think it's fourth. But if Eddie Howe pulls off the results this season, he does well. He's a third or second best player.
I like Brighton's manager.
Just getting spanked today.
But still though,
look at Man City got beat and Man U got beat.
Right, okay, so we're here after the match with
Mark.
And your accent, where are you from?
I'm from Burnley. I've come 100 mile away just to come and see the team play. Couldn't get a ticket, so I've come and watched it in the Shearers bar.
How have you ended up being a Newcastle fan from Burnley?
I've supported them since I was probably about 9 or 10 year old and followed them through thick, thin, ups and downs, relegations, promotions, and now back to the Champions League.
How's it going to be like at work going in after this game?
Oh, it'll be mint. I can't wait for the journey back to Burnley to just go with a big smile on my face. And all them Burnley fans, they'll all be crying tonight.
Are you fearful of Burnley this season going down? What's the mood in Burnley?
They've played well so far. They've had some tough games, just like us. We've had some tough games, but we've just shown that even if we get tough games, a draw in Milan, we then go and smash 8 against Sheffield and then knock City out of the cup. So it just goes to show that sometimes, all you need is just keep doing what you're doing. I think there's 3 worst teams in them. You know, Luton, I'm worried for Luton. I
Luton
think
and
they'll go down.
Sheffield, everyone seems to have, isn't it?
Luton, Sheffield, and there could be one other. It could be Bournemouth. It could be Burnley. There's them 3-4 teams are definitely going to struggle this season.
So we've had to use a bit of an underbelly with the squad this season. We've had Lascelles, Dummett's had a few games.
Yeah.
Anderson's probably getting a few more minutes than he would have thought. How do you reckon they've all done? Because we're keeping clean sheets. Seems to be all right.
Clean sheets have been pivotal to our form so far in this last 3 or 4 games. The game against Man City, we really struggled that first half. I think we were lacking a little bit in midfield. Obviously, Lewis Hall and Lewis Marley, 17-year-old, the first games for the club, they just struggled a little bit, especially Lewis Hall. I thought he lost the ball a couple of times. But when Guimaraes came on, you know, and they changed the game, and the second half were a completely different story.
We're picking up some injuries. So we've had Barnes who went down injured. Joelinton, we don't know what's just happened. He's getting injured.
Yeah.
There's a few others. Are you concerned? Because obviously we beat Man City, so we've got more games to play. We've got Champions League. Is it a worry that we've got a small squad? Or?
No, I don't think so. Because even we made 10 changes against Man City and still beat them. You know, I know they made 9 changes, but the team that Man City put out was still fantastic. You know, they still had the likes of Jack Grealish, Phil Ford, and all right. Haaland didn't come on, but we still beat them. So it just shows that even then, when people are out, people come in and they're still doing a job. We're still winning games.
Well, Botman was injured today. Clean sheets. I personally think he's absolutely crucial for our defence, and we're probably lucky that it was Burnley and not a Liverpool or something. How crucial is he if he's going to be out for a while?
Oh, it's going to be massive loss. If we lose Botman for any number of games, it's going to be a big loss. But like they showed against Man City, we are completely new back four to still keep a clean sheet and beat the reigning European champions 1-0 is a fantastic result.
And how far are we going in the tournaments, in your opinion? In terms of Champions League, how far? We're obviously getting a good start. It's still early doors.
Champions League, I think we're definitely going to get out of that group stage. I think so. Carabao Cup, we'll beat United. We'll beat them. And then I think we can get to it. There's no reason why we shouldn't get to that final. FA Cup, obviously, we don't know yet. But Premier League, you've got to be looking for top 4 minimum.
It's a minimum, yeah.
Yeah. I think we can do it.
Who's your man of the match today?
Almiron for that goal.
Stunner, wasn't it?
Oh, what a goal! Took it so well, but he only scores worldies. He only scores worldies.
And then PSG prediction.
1-0 Newcastle.
1-0. Yeah. Goal scorer?
Depends who starts, Wilson or Isak, but one of them.
One of the front. So, Champions League, how far are we going in the Champions League, do you think?
Final.
All the way through? Yeah? Who's your man of the match today?
Almiron.
Almiron, because of the goal?
Yeah.